Ed, a key piece of this puzzle at the moment is China. So let's talk about China and what it could mean for Apple. You've seen the downgrade that came from KeyBanc this morning, downgrading the stock to underweight from sector weight. I'll share the quote with our audience who might have missed that this morning. Apple, an impressive business with what we believe are unrealistic expectations to re-accelerate growth across all product categories and geographies. What do we know about what's happening in China this quarter?
Yeah. I mean, the hard lesson I've learned in the last year, maybe 18 months, is one, be wary of the third-party data about Apple sales in China, because when earnings roll around, we're often proven wrong in some sense, right? You can definitely see that competition for Apple in the smartphone market in China is there, and that it materializes in their top-line growth. But also, two, we don't understand what's happening, frankly. There is a phenomena where Apple is selling the iPhone 16 in China, and there is some evidence that the consumer is buying it on the belief that in the future, Apple will roll out its artificial intelligence technology there. But it's not currently available there. The regulators won't allow for it, and Apple isn't deploying it. But it's a really interesting consumer behavior that is impossible for any sell-side or third-party researcher to track, because it's a consumer betting on a future product that we don't have a timeline for existence. And when they roll around, that's when we'll get the iPhone 16 data, the real data from Apple. And I suspect that it will be interesting to see if iPhone grows and other categories from Apple in China do not, as has been the case in prior quarters.
So, Ed, there is zero timeline for when those individuals, those consumers in China that decide to buy this iPhone are going to get access to the AI technology?
Yeah, I mean, the notable story of this week, of course, was Tim Cook being in China and meeting with relevant government officials who are part of that regulatory body. Apple has a unique position for a US company in China that maybe only Tesla also shares, that it moves with relative freedom, both in its end market for sales, but also in its supply chain. But they can't decide when they deploy a technology like this, Apple Intelligence. It's at the whim of regulators. And as we know, particularly in the context of video games licensing, for example, regulators can change their mind very quickly, or they can take a very long time to do something. Modeling for that is very hard, though I'm not a sell-side analyst. I'm a journalist.
Well, you mentioned Tim Cook. He met with the Commerce Ministry of China today. He's also been on these tours, taking these selfies. You see how government leaders are reacting towards China versus business leaders. Look at the way Elon Musk and Tim Cook react towards China, but look at the way the two leading parties in the United States, the Democrats and the Republicans, bipartisan support for talking tough on China. For Apple, what does the future look like if we get a Trump 2.0, which is being priced into the financial markets?
Yeah, I don't think we know that answer. I mean, interestingly, you know, what I took from that recent interview with Micklethwait was basically Trump feeling that he has a good relationship with Xi and a good relationship with China, and that he would do something in American interests. But we have been through one Trump presidency, 2016 through 20, where other than that sort of latter part of the pandemic that muddied the waters, Apple was fine. You know, it has de-risked its supply chain to a certain extent, shifting some production to India and other parts of Southeast Asia. But critically, and it is relevant to NVIDIA as well, right, in the context of export restrictions, China is still the most important end market for everything from consumer electronics right through to data center and hyperscalers. And so we watch it closely. What Trump will or won't do, I think that's part of the problem. We don't have a clear sense on the policy platform of either when it comes to technology companies in this country.